Nostalgia alert, we are here with the glorious Dolores O'Riordan of the Cranberries, and the first song she ever wrote for the Cranberries, actually before she was in the band, is Linger.
Thank you guys. I think you all know this one. It's a very old one. I'm 11 years old now.
Straight away it's interesting. Okay, before we actually get into the song, it's already so interesting with how she is singing those ahs, because if you listen to the vowel shape, she's singing It's a little bit more narrow, it fits with her accent, and it's very important that if you're singing within your accent, that happens more around speaking range, which is what Dolores is doing here. It might become a little bit more difficult as you get higher, and you'll see that she shifts her shape as she gets higher into her voice later on. But here, it's and it is so Irish. Her style of singing particularly reminds me of Shannon's, that smoothness, and Shannon's means old style. It has this really fluid, smooth sound to it, Shannon's, of course with the Irish accent and that lovely ornamentation that Dolores is really good at. Lilting is a little bit different, it's like improvised, jig-like music, and it's often kind of gobbledygook, like scatting, fun consonant-vowel combinations, and keening is more to do with a song of grief. So the yodels that are very Dolores comes from the idea of keening. We'll get into that. And normally you'd sing ah. Most people would.
Don't let it burn, don't let it fade. I'm sure I might be rude, but it's just your attitude. It's tearing me apart, it's ruining everything, and I swore.
There's so many rhotic R's in a very Irish way. Apart. She's literally singing on the ers just as much as you would hear in country music in the US, but it's very specifically Irish. To make that rhotic R, there's actually two different ways to make an sound. One is to like bunch your tongue up at the back of your mouth, and one is to bring it forward and make a kind of little hook shape like this with your tongue, and I think she's probably doing that second one rather than the It's a little bit different. She's not engaging as much of her speaking voice muscles as many singers might sing it. So it has a lighter quality, and again, this really fits with a lot of Irish folk, and that really makes her stand out, because I think often we feel like rock music or pop music, we need to be loud, we need to be big, so people often root that in their chest voice. By doing the complete opposite, yet having that rocky style underneath, it just made it really, really unique, yet it hits just as hard. It doesn't need to be massive, it doesn't need to be heavy to be heavy.
I swore I would be true, and honey, so did you. So why were you holding her hand? Is that the way we stand? Were you lying all the time? Was it just a game to you? But I mean, so deep.
It's actually actually a lot of nasality, and again, it fits with her accent going through her nose. It's so deep. You can hear that kind of squeezed sound. I'm overdoing it so you can really hear, but it almost makes it feel unstable, and most of the time we are trying to get rid of that instability, but here it's kind of working. It's giving it this feeling of her being on the edge of emotion. You're also hearing these little pushes where she leans a little bit into that chest voice and then flicks up at the end of the notes. I'm going to play a couple of them here and point them out.
So why are you holding her hand? Is that the way we stand?
They're really subtle here. Stand. There's a little at the end of everything, and it gives that feeling of crack and break. That's that sound that fits with keening, that emotional sound that comes from a type of singing that's to do with grief. And she sang like that the whole way through.
And all the time, was it just a game to you? But I made it so deep. You know I'm such a fool.
I'm gonna listen to the whole chorus, but that was an amazing one. It's so interesting how she's doing that yodel there. She's got and then she goes up into the chord-ish, but she allows it to go a little bit sharp. It almost scoops up to the B flat, so a whole semitone above it. Because you're getting that little very, very quick moment of clash in that really, really light head voice place, it feels like, oh gosh, her voice is completely cracked, but she is doing it so, so purposefully.
I made it so deep. You got me wrapped around your finger. Do you have to let it linger? Do you have to? Do you have to? Do you have to let it linger? Oh, I thought the world of you. I thought nothing could go wrong, but I was wrong.
I love how she's singing the taut instead of thought, classic Irish accent thing. I also love how she is doing linger. So instead of singing linger, so the whole word is linger, or even if she was going to be really erotic about it, linger, she's shifting it to an and so the end of that word is just an expression of emotion rather than a word. It becomes like, I'm not even saying that word anymore. I'm just like, Now, it's fascinating how she wrote this song. She actually come in for an audition with the Cranberries, and the Cranberries were just a bunch of guys sitting around at that point, and she sang a few songs that she wrote herself, but she had a kind of rubbish guitar amp, and she was playing her keyboard, and they thought, I think she sounds quite good, but we couldn't really hear her that well. So the drummer gave her a lift back home, and he said, "You coming back?" And she said, "If you want me to." So he said, "Here is a tape of a song that we've written, and they'd written this instrumental. Why don't you try and write something over it?" And she did, and this song was Linger. And when they heard that, they were like, oh wow. So this was the song that actually got her into the band, and it's one of their most famous songs. And she was only 17 years old.
I was wrong. I was wrong with you. If you could get by, trying not to lie, things wouldn't be so confused, and I wouldn't feel so used. But you always really knew. I just wanna be with you, and I made it so.
I love how she sings so. Do you have to?
Do you have to? Do you have to let it
There's such an amazing balance of different genres within this. I love the strings within it. It makes it feel very classy and real, and strings are just super emotional. It gives it this softer edge. Her vocals as well have that softer Celtic feel, and she has a vast array of influences. She loved everything from Elvis Presley to traditional Irish music. And then this, well, what we now see as very 90s sounding rock pop band sound as well. That mold is so interesting, and because it isn't just the 90s sound, it kind of feels timeless. So good every time.
You got me wrapped around your finger. Do you have to let it linger? Do you have to? Do you have to? Do you have to let it linger? You know I'm such a fool for you.
I love that build on this final one. More of that amazing yodel. It's so unique to her. And I'm kind of hesitating after saying it's so unique to her because it's actually so rooted in her heritage. But those little cracks and breaks to me, unlike Enya, who has this ethereal quality, is real. Is everything that Irish culture has been through and Ireland as a country has been through.
You got me wrapped around your finger. Do you have to let it linger? Do you have to? Do you have to? Do you have to let it linger?
This is because it's higher. So interesting, because on that high one, she closes her mouth again and goes a little bit more towards that sound again, and you can hear the instability in that voice, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Again, it's emotional instability. Our voices shake and crack, and they make those noises when we're in emotional states. If you wanted like a clear Enya sound, you'd want to keep that open round vowel because it's just a little bit more stable.
Do you have to? Do you have to let it linger?
And nasal as well. See how it sounds really light and thinner at the top rather than your big opera sound? I've said it a million times in this reaction. It relates to a lot of Celtic styles of singing. Scottish folk is the same, actually a lot of Scandinavian styles of singing. It gives this light, direct sound rather than but I think she shifts it slightly on that really high note to allow her to get up to that. This time I think she's raising her soft palate so the air isn't going through her nose. Now fluffy vibrato as well. Thank you. I found a quote in an old British music magazine called Melody Maker that said that Dolores' voice was the voice of a saint trapped in a glass heart. The cracks, the breaks, the lightness, yet that warmth, that way that it connects directly to you and makes you listen and like her. It's so beautiful.
Rawr.